Welcome to today's practice. Today's practice is going to be a restorative practice, so quite different to the vinyasa classes we've done so far. So we'll need some props for today. So the props I'm using is one bolster, and I'm using also a block. Now, if you have these things, great, use them. If you have extra props as well, you're welcome to incorporate those in as well. If you don't have a bolster or a block, you could use some cushions, some bed pillows, anything that's going to offer support and not sort of squash down to nothing. You could also use a thick book as an alternative to a block. So those are the props. This practice is restorative as opposed to yin yoga. So when we practice yin, we're looking for tension. So we're looking to feel a gentle stretch. With restorative yoga, the focus is much more on restoration and complete relaxation. So we're not really looking for big stretches in this class. This is purely to relax, hence the term restorative. So we're going to start with a few gentle movements just to dissipate excess energy, because it's quite hard to come in from your day and immediately try to be still. So we're going to dissipate a little bit of excess energy, and then we're going to move into the longer holds, which are going to be around 3 minutes, thereabouts. And let's get going. So just start in a nice, comfortable seated position. So sit in a way that allows your spine to be nice and long. Let the shoulders draw down away from the ears. We're going to start with a bit of a neck release. Very simple, just let the chin nod down towards the chest. And then we're going to start to take some half circles with the neck. So drawing each ear around towards each shoulder. A great opportunity for incorporating your breath into this movement. Maybe inhaling as the ear draws around to the shoulder, and exhaling as the chin releases back towards the chest. One more time to each side. No need to rush. And then allow the chin to come back to the chest and lifting the head back up to neutral. Once the head's back up to neutral, rest the hands comfortably onto the thighs or the knees. Take an inhale, draw the heart forwards and up, opening out, draw the shoulder blades down the back. And then for your exhale, separate the shoulder blades, nod the chin into the chest, rounding out into a seated cat. Moving between these two shapes. One more time to do the cow version, and then into the cat, and then slowly start to come back to center. Once back to center, placing the right hand down towards the floor, reaching the left arm up, take an inhale. And then exhale, just taking a side bend over to the right, reach into left fingertips initially. And then from there, bringing the left hand to the back of the head. If that's too much, just bring the fingertips to the temple. Take an inhale, draw that shoulder back a little bit more, turning the chest upwards. And then on your exhale, start to turn down towards the right leg, rounding in, creating that nice length down the back of the rib cage. Let's continue working with our breath here. Inhale to expand, exhale to contract. Literally working with your own breath. Next time the elbow points up, arriving there, release the hand and then slowly coming back up. Place the left hand down, reach the right arm up, side bending over to the left, so reaching into the fingertips, and then taking the right hand to the back of the head. Inhale, opening out, expand, draw the elbow back. Exhale, turning down, tucking in. Continuing at your own pace. Next time the right elbow is raised, arriving there, take the hand away, slowly coming back up. And then with that, just place the hands onto the legs and just find some very simple circles. Change direction. And then from there, coming back to center. Once here, take the hands behind for support. Place the feet on the floor, roughly about mat wide if you're facing towards the top of the mat. If you're facing the side, just sort of guesstimate about that distance. Take an inhale with the knees lifted up. And then on your exhale, just drop the knees over towards the right. Inhale, coming back up. And then exhale, drop the knees over to the left. Continuing. And now we're going to add on. So next time the knees head over to the right, we're going to sweep our left arm around through center, reaching around to the sides. Imagine there's something that is just out of your range that you can't quite touch. And then sweeping that arm back, place the hand down as the knees drop over through center to the other side. Then opposite arm goes around, reaching, keeping that little bit of reach, tension as we go. Just a couple more times like this. Lovely, and then let's make our way back to center. From here, we're going to find our first restorative posture. We're going to take a Sphinx pose. So we're going to use the bolster for this. So I'm just going to place it towards the front of the mat, and I'm going to lay over, and it's going to create a support for my chest. So coming down onto your front, rest the chest onto the bolster, take the elbows in front. If you're using cushions, you might stack a couple of cushions here for this. And then from here, we're just going to allow the belly to sink towards the floor. Just let the shoulder blades draw down the back, let the legs relax. Now you can either just let the head dangle. If you've got a block, you could use your block just to rest it on. You could also use your hands and just allow the head to rest into the hands. So let's settle here just for a few minutes. So take your time to find that stillness, that relaxation, and then just resolving to be still for a few minutes. Just scanning through the body to see if there's anything that you could adjust and relax to get a little bit more restoration, a little bit more relaxation and release. It's quite normal for the mind to start wandering in these sort of postures. If that's happening to you, just bring your awareness to your breath. Just a little while longer. And then from here, we're going to start to really slowly make our way out of this posture. So start to lift yourself off of the bolster, bring yourself back, and you could find just a couple of breaths in a child pose. Or if you feel called to just have a little bit of cat to cow to release any movement or release any tension. Any other movements that feel good here. And then we're just going to make our way into the next posture. So for the next couple of postures, I'm going to arrange, so I've got the block towards the end of the mat. And that's just going to help to elevate the bolster slightly. so it's on a little bit of a slope. And then once I've got that set up, we're going to come into a variation of fish pose. So to come into fish pose, we're going to sit against the edge of the bolster, so bring your hips. You could always pop something underneath your sit bones for support if you think you need that, and then start to lay over the bolster, adjusting. Rest the head back. You can always bring in an extra support for your head if you feel that this is still a little bit too much of an arch for you. The arms could rest down by the sides. You could take the arms wide into a T or cactus shape, or you could take the arms above the head for more of a shoulder stretch. The legs, they could stay planted. You could drop the knees in together. You could opt for straight legs, or you could opt for a butterfly, whichever you find to be most comfortable out of these postures. Take a few moments to settle in, and then we are going to be here for a few minutes. Feel free to adjust at any point, so don't feel stuck in a pose. If something's not quite right, make those little adjustments and come out if you really do feel uncomfortable. For example, with this one, you might start with the legs in one shape, and then you might adjust them accordingly after a minute or so. Keeping your attention to the breath. Just a few more breaths here. And then to come out of this posture, if you had the arms above the head or out to the sides, slowly start to bring them down. If the legs were in any sort of shape, just plant the feet on towards the floor. We're going to roll over to the side to come out. Really slowly bringing yourself back up. We're going to keep the bolster in this position. And for the next posture, we're going to edge our left hip just up against the bolster. Now this is going to be a twist. We're going to turn the chest down towards it. Bring the legs to a comfortable position. So you could take a pinwheel type shape, or you could just have the knees to one side. Turn the chest down. Slowly start to lower yourself towards the bolster. Now you could rest the head into the hands. You could turn your head to the left. You could turn your head to the right. Turning to the left is going to be a bit more intense. Turning to the right, a bit less intense. Remember that this is restorative yoga, so we're not going for big sensation here. Take a moment to land. This is one of my favorite restorative postures. Settle in, finding that stillness again. Feeling the support of your props, sinking a little deeper. Just a few more breaths here. Really slowly coming out, so start to bring the hands to plant onto the floor, either side of the bolster. Press into the hands, slowly bringing yourself up, taking your time. And then we're going to make our way to the other side. So shift the legs so they are facing over, and then bring the right hip this time against the edge of the bolster, turning the chest down towards it, slowly lowering yourself down. Decide which direction you want to turn your head. I suggest the opposite way to last time. So if you turned your head to the right last time, you'll be turning to the left. If you were face down, you could go face down again. Take a moment to get settled and comfortable, and then resolving to be still. Just a couple more breaths. And then very slowly start to use hand strength and arm strength to push yourself back up, really taking your time. And then begin to just swing the legs around. We're just going to take the bolster off of the block now. And we're going to come into a happy, half happy baby pose next. So I'm going to use the bolster for this, but you might find you don't need to. We're going to come down onto our back. And we're going to have the left foot planted on towards the floor. And then we're going to bend into the right knee. Bring the right hand inside of the foot, either to take hold of the outside of the foot. You could go for the ankle or the shin, just depending on what is more comfortable for you to hold. Point the sole of the foot up to the ceiling, encouraging the knee towards the armpit. The left leg is just going to act as a counterweight. If you're quite a mobile person or hypermobile, you might find this leg sort of splays out a bit and it just doesn't feel like it's got any stability there. If that's you, just bring the bolster to the side and allow that knee to rest onto the bolster so it's got a little platform there, just so it doesn't go too far. Settling in, we'll be here again for another few minutes. Keeping your awareness with the breath. If the mind is wandering too much, staying present as best you can. Just a few more breaths. And we're going to start to think about leaving the posture now. So just let go of the foot or the leg. Place the right foot back down onto the floor. Take the feet a little wider towards the edges of the mat and just have a bit of a windscreen wiper motion again, just to release before we go to the other side. Even though we're not trying to stretch or look for too much tension, sometimes just being still for a longer period can create a little bit of tension. So moving to the other side, I'm going to shift my bolster over to the left because I'm using it. And then this time our right leg is our support, and we're drawing the left knee in. Take the left hand inside of the foot, and then you're reaching up for either the outside of the left foot, the ankle a bit higher up the leg, drawing the knee down in the direction of the armpit, the right leg again just relaxing out towards the side. Take the next few moments to get yourself settled and then finding that stillness. Noticing the body gently releasing. Just a little bit longer. You might take about 5 more breaths here. And slowly start to let go of the left foot or leg. Release back down towards the floor. And then again, maybe have a bit of a sway from side to side. Or you could draw your knees into your chest, just giving yourself a bit of a hug, just allowing the back to gently soften into the floor. And then from here, we're going to come into a restorative bridge pose. So I'm going to use the bolster. You could use the block if you wanted to. And we're just going to take our prop just in between the feet and the hips. And then we're going to lift the hips up to roll it or slide it underneath. And then rest the hips back down on towards it. So you might need to make a little bit of adjustment just to get the positioning comfortable and correct for you. Once you've got that all settled and sorted, just have the feet planted, arms just rest where comfortably. They could be on the belly, they could be done by the sides, out to the sides, on the bolster, above the head, whatever you prefer. And we're just going to take a moment to land here. I'm going to offer a few different variations you can do with the legs. Pick and choose what works for you. If you just fancy staying in this position, absolutely fine. Just hold it for that nice long period. But if you do want to explore some of the other variations, you could try drawing the right knee in towards the chest, bringing the hands around the shin or the back of the thigh if that works a little better for you. And then just start to take the left leg a little bit further away from you, lengthening it out to a longer position. It doesn't have to be completely straight. If it's hovering off the floor, that's just a bit of tension in the hip flexors. Let the knee bend so the foot can touch on towards the floor. You don't want to be creating unnecessary tension here. You could explore opening the right knee out to the side a bit more, maybe supporting underneath with the hand. If that's not for you, just keep the knee back more towards the midline. If you took the knee a little wider, just slowly guide it back to center. And then bend the left leg again so the left foot can plant on the floor. Maybe placing the right ankle onto the left thigh, flex the foot, let the knee go wide. This might be a nice place to stop. You can, if you wish to, bring the left knee into the chest, taking the right ankle with it, and just taking the hands around the left leg. We won't be in this variant for too long. There might be a little bit more sensation in this one. And then just allow the left foot to come back down to the floor, and then removing the right foot, placing it down. And then we're going to draw the left knee into the chest, taking the hands around the leg, and then just start to edge the right foot a little bit further away until you're in the right place for you. If you want to let the left knee open a little out to the side, you did it the other side, you could explore it on this side. Slowly bring the knee back to center, and then if the right leg's straight, just start to draw the foot back in closer so it can plant on the floor, taking the left ankle over onto the right thigh, flex the foot, let the knee go wide. Perhaps this version with the right foot on the floor is the best option for you, or maybe drawing the knee into the chest, taking your left ankle with it. So again, on this side, we're not going to be here too long, because this variation is probably going to create a little bit more sensation for you. We're here to down regulate the nervous system, not to overstimulate it. And then let's take the right foot back to the floor. Take the left leg off of the right leg. Maybe take a few extra breaths here in this simple variation with the feet planted, or you could lengthen both legs out long simultaneously and take the arms up overhead. If this is creating a pinching feeling in the low back, I would bend the knees again. If this feels nice, we'll just be here for a few breaths. Perhaps about 10. And then begin to walk the feet back in, take the arms back down, and then we're just going to remove the prop from underneath our hips and just push it back so you can lower the hips to the floor, and the prop is now in between your glutes and your feet. So we're going to come into a butterfly now. There's two ways you could do this. One is to keep the feet in front of the prop and let the knees open out and land on it. That's a really nice restorative way of doing it. Another version is to have the feet on the prop and drop the knees outwards with the feet actually on the prop. Pick the one that feels nicest for you, and then we will settle here. This is our last posture before Shavasana, so make sure it feels really yummy and comfortable. And then from here, we're going to make our way into our Shavasana. So I'm going to keep the bolster under the back of my knees. For comfort, use your props in any way that feels good. And we're just going to fall into just a few minutes of stillness. So laying yourself out, closing down the eyes. And relax. Staying in Shavasana as long as you see fit. If you're ready to transition back into your day, slowly start to bring some movement in, wriggling fingers and toes. Maybe planting the feet on the floor. And then taking a roll over to one side. And just linger on one side for a moment or so. Maybe blinking the eyes open, getting them used to the light in the room. And then when you feel ready, just use your top hand to push into the floor and slowly bring yourself up to seated. Rearrange yourself in a comfortable seat. Feeling the benefits of your practice. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you next time. Namaste.